Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing stories or day 7 and 8 together. So we're working on number 7, which is going to be my Red Cup love story for this year. I think over on, was it Facebook? In the Facebook group, I had recently showed like my Red Cup stories throughout the years, and they're all pretty different. So I do appreciate the fact that I take the time to figure out how I'm going to include the Starbucks holiday cups, like the actual cups. Now, I always get a few of them whenever I get, like when they first come out. I always order a drink, and then I ask the lovely barista if she could grab me the cups in each pattern. And usually, because I'm a regular Starbucks goer to one particular spot, they are more than willing to oblige. However, before I had the courage to ask for clean cups, I would simply be getting them and cleaning them out as soon as, rinsing them out as soon as I was done with my coffee, and then they wouldn't be so gunky and gross to use. So my idea for story 7 is going to be the little half circle trend. I don't have that from via Ali Edwards, but I did just make my own on my silhouette. It wasn't a hard process to do. So I made one a little bit smaller than the other. We are going to make the cover on acetate. So this is not truly like acetate. I always just call this like just clear paper, just clear plastic paper. I always keep the packaging from my daughter's Barbies or new toys that she gets. This is the front of some Barbie she had, and I just keep it around. And so we're going to cut one circle out of here, and then the other circle that's slightly bigger is going to house my 2 photos and the story of how my daughter loves now the Starbucks K-pop. So I'm thinking of like, it's going to be right around there. And then the back side is going to be covering up this one, because when we walked into this Target, there was a picture there, and she totally was like, "Mom, take a picture with me and my cake pop." She loves these darn things. I don't know what they put in them. I think they're okay, but anytime she wants a treat, she always asks for a Starbucks cake pop. So the back will be the photos on both sides, and then 7 will be the semicircle in which we are going to add a perimeter of the stars that came from Ali Edwards. And that is what we're going to do, is cut the cups up now and make stars out of these as well, so that I have a star wreath on this side. And then we'll figure out my number situation. And then when we flip it, I need more on that side so that you don't see the white packaging. So we will cut enough stars and then mix in some of these Ali Edwards ones so that it's completely covered on both sides. Have the number 7. It'll have the 2 pictures of us. And when I construct that, I will most likely have a brad here, and we'll swivel out journaling so that it's hidden. So I do have to remember to keep that in mind when it's being constructed. Yeah, that's why I have this cut out. That's why I just used red for the photos and made this just on like, lime green paper, just so that I could cut it out from the acetate with no problem. All right, let's get constructing, and I'm going to be cutting out a bunch of stars by placing them on here. So, and in my other ones too, I think you'll notice if you've been following me, I have just used a simple circle punch in using these. I have made these into 3x4 or 4x6 journal cards as a simple approach. My favorite one, I think, was it last year or was it the year before that? No, okay, the last 2 have been fun. So last year I did a heart wreath. So I used my heart circle punch, and Ali Edwards had heart these, and I made a heart wreath with it that year. So hence I'm using stars because that's the shape of most of the things. And then the year before that, I did a fun one because Ali Edwards in her product play class had made a like quilted heart. So it was like these triangle pieces that were pieced together to make a heart shape out of triangles. And I used the cups to make the said quilted pieces. And that one turned out really, really good. So I might bring that back next year if I can't think of something just as cool, even though I love also seeing others. So if I see something cool that someone's done this year, I will remember it. Oh, I got it. And try to use that for next year. All right, so let me stop talking and let's get making some stars. So let's get started. So once I open up all of these Starbucks cups, I do take the acetate stars from the Ali Edwards collection and just start placing them and tracing them where I would like the pattern to be cut for these stars using the cups. This process was a little bit longer than necessary, and I did not round the corners. I just left them as pointy as can be, but just to like scissor cuts that meet up, and it worked out just the same. I used my Silhouette Cameo to cut out that half circle already, and then I cut it out on the red and then placed it on my photo and then did the same. So what you'll start to see me do also is leave the back photo off a little bit because I'm trying to figure out where the holes are going to be. So I have to cut about an inch of that photo to keep the holes uninterrupted, because instead of having a little pull area, because I thought that was going to be harder, I decided to put a little star brad at the top of the photo and have it swivel out so that you see the red paper, and I will have my handwritten journal underneath there of, like I was saying in the intro, of her love for these cake pops, and now that it's Christmas season and they're shaped like reindeers, just makes them all the more special. And I swear she probably asks for them at least once a week, if not more. But it's between a cake pop, a pink frosted donut, or from Dunkin' Donuts, or the child loves candy canes. But, you know, we have to limit her sugar intake here. So the acetate worked out great from the packaging, and then I'm realizing once I have the star wreath on the front side, I'm like, you know what, I want it on the back side too, so I go ahead and cut double more. And what I did on placement is just make sure that no two patterns were the same in a row, so it was always like the green and then the kind of heavily patterned one, and then the red and white one, and then I put a star from Ali Edwards, and then the same pattern repeated. So I had two areas where Ali Edwards ephemera was, and then the other areas were all Starbucks cutouts. And I made sure to have the logo and the pattern kind of shine through as much as I could on both the back and the front side. And I go ahead and I do love the felt fabric 7 for it, and this keeps the bulk down for this page at least anyway. So here I'm just finishing up the back side. Now I did adhere the fabric 7 with Fabri-Tac glue, and you do sort of see that look on the back side, but you know what, it doesn't bother me. And I went through my sticker collection thinking if there was some small sentiment on a puffy sticker I could add to it, but nothing really worked or fit. And actually Good Cheer on this one did fit, but it wasn't like the same kind of red, and since it was a little darker, I was like, you know what, it really doesn't need it. Why am I trying to do too much? But I did go ahead and add a few puffy star stickers that were an old sheet from the Target dollar spot, and that will finish up this side for day 7. And anything else that I finish up doing? No, yeah, that'll finish it up. Okay, that will wrap up story number 7. So I'm just going to let that dry. We'll work on story number 8. And then, like, it does show some of the wet glue back there, but you know what? I don't care. I may, who knows, maybe I should, like, cover it up with, like, maybe trace the letter and get some black cardstock, but it really doesn't bother me, I'll be honest, because I thought about stapling it, but then it would rough up this photo. So seeing the glue on that side, it's not the end of the world for me. So I will leave this to dry. You saw me put this whole thing together, and I will do my journaling underneath here off camera. But let's start on story number 8, and I will film the outro, and then you'll see it all done. So let me get this over and stacked with something to wait. Okay, story number 8 was a little bit of a product play moment earlier in the month, where Ali Edwards, and I'm sure you've seen the other people's, so she used the chipboard nested circles to make the 8, and then she had pattern paper and created this little fold out. I did that as well by just simply bringing these close to here and tracing the outside. That way I knew it would line up perfectly once I skewed it over a little bit, and you can see a little bit of that black plaid pattern paper. This pattern paper is from Vicky Boutin. It was one that was in my supply video, so you have seen me haul it. And so for this one, number 8, we're going to use the nested circles, and I'm talking about my Nespresso advent calendar for this one. So I printed out one of my cups of coffee because I what's funny is that I've been taking pictures of the coffee and writing down the list as I open them because they're all different, and then checking them off as I like it or dislike it. This is just the packaging from the internet on their website. So my point was about it is that last year when I did my advent calendar, since it was beer, you know, the beer bottles changed, or if they were cans that day. So these pictures alternated every day for my advent calendar. So I'm realizing that I could probably do this one a little bit earlier and just not include the entire full list, since I'm still in the middle of drinking the 24 different coffees in here. But I can actually have it hold. And so one of the chipboards is going to have this photo here as, I was thinking down in the bottom. And then I'm just going to keep the inner two for like here, and then have the list of all the coffees on this side. And maybe, you know, include a couple more, maybe if I have another picture where I add whipped cream, or if there's more delineation on the espresso and milk foam on there. And then for this, I had found this in my order when I had it, and I kept it. I think it's like a new coffee maker thing that they have, but slow down and savor the moment actually fit perfectly in there too. So that's what I'm going to use for up here. And then this picture down below, and that would be number 8. And then we'll keep it simple. So once again, this might be one that like I said, I'll type out what I have so far. So when I'm making this, it's story number 8, but it is currently the 13th when I am filming this. So I'm like going back a little bit. So I have like 1 through 13 written, but I think I'll just hold off that little typing and just keep it as a long thing and have all 24 coffees listed here. And like I said, check off the ones I like, and then an X mark next to the ones I haven't cared for. And truly the only ones I really haven't cared for have been a few of the really rich, bold espressos. Like that is just not my cup of tea. So I have been, you know, adding, making them into lattes and stuff, because that's all that happens. But man, some of them are really, really like a acquired bitter taste. So those have been the only ones where I won't order like a sleeve's worth of them. But there have been a couple of really good ones. So it's fun to play around with. So let's construct this one together for story number 8. So since I had a bulk of the idea done for this one, this came together quite easily too, so there's not too much footage. Also, there's not that much footage because since I don't have the completed list of the 24 different coffees from Nespresso to finish out the typing, I'm pretty much just going to show you like these 2 circles put together, and then just the 2 2x2s that I have so far in there. I do cut out the name Nespresso from the packaging as well, and I use it kind of has like a little tiny word phrase under one of the photos, and that will conclude kind of just putting it together as far as this. This is one of those pages just like my Twinkle page, which is our elf on the shelf, where I'll come back and add that journaling strip with the 24 coffees and really go into marking, like I said, the ones I liked and then don't prefer, and that way I know what to order in the future, because this has really become like my favorite thing ever. Like, yes, I love a good pot of coffee, but Nespressos are just fancy for home. Okay, that will finish off day 7 and 8 in my December daily. So this is how it finally turned out in the book. You can see a little bit of that. That doesn't bother me. Here's the picture. Oh, and I did go ahead and add 2 flares. This one says Coffee and Joy, and this one says Got My Holiday Cup. Those are from Happy and Scrappy Studio, so I love the added little feature. And then here is that little swivel with my journaling on this one. I'm going to have to figure out like a little charm or maybe a paper clip that will stay here because it moves a lot. Then story 8, I did say I would leave it rather blank because I'm going to add in that journaling. So this will stay finished and waiting for it to be done, but at least it's told in my December daily and I love it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button to know when I upload. And as always, give this video a thumbs up. And until next time, bye.